What up, and these are two at the same time. You know, it's not like I've never experienced having two at the same time. You know. What? No. Oh, that reminds me when you say yippee is like the shark, like the one that goes yippee. So yeah, I guess that's just a little bit of how you should perceive granola bars, the yogurt.
Shut up. I got you at like the back end of actually doing it.
Hey, it worked, and now we're here.
Hello, this is a little different. I mean, one, college has been kicking our asses. And two, I have a futon now, so this is going to be the main set, just because it's so much more relaxed, and I mean, I'm just comfy.
I like it. I think we should actually keep doing this. I know, and you guys should let us know if we should keep doing it as well, because I really like this setting.
And I'm moving soon.
Are you really?
It's in the next, what is it now, April? So I'm moving in June.
So you're gonna be like
I have 2 months.
to move like to NIU?
Yep.
Dang, man.
Yeah, we already have like stuff set up. We just need like the apartment to be like, okay, you're all good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're taking a while. So it'd be nice to have that fully concrete, because we are getting really close to the move date.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you are really close. So I don't know why they haven't, but that's gonna be still sick as well.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous just because it's just like, oh,
Right, and you're living with other people, so it's gonna be like
yeah. So
another couple. I think you
no,
told me.
it's just two friends.
Oh, two friends. All right.
Yeah, and they have their own relationships.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's gonna be way different.
Yes.
So I think I asked this before, but is your apartment on campus?
Just off.
Just off.
It's like a through campus to like my building. It's like a 5-minute drive.
Oh, yeah. So then it's
It's
gonna be perfect.
really not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we go out onto like the balcony that's there, and we can see the dorms.
Oh, so then yeah. So then it's gonna be close.
It's very close. It's like
Yeah.
it's considered off campus, but we're so close that it's just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. It's considered, but
Yeah.
I think I don't know how it works, but there might be like different things that determine if you're on or off campus, like different things that you get, like considering like if you're on campus, I think I know a bunch of my buddies live on campus in apartments, but it's different for the fact that they have to pay just a little bit more,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
I would not want to pay that much.
Yeah, no way.
But luckily, like with 4 people there, that we're like really reducing our rent. We're down to maybe like 400 each,
That is really good, dude.
and I'm just like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
It's so good.
That's doable, of course. And are you going to be having like a job on campus?
I'm gonna try to work at like the gym there, just because I'm also taking kind of like, it's like a pseudo gap year, where it's just like I'm not fully attending NIU. I'm still gonna be at MCC.
Okay.
And it's just taking like 9 credits, so it's just like I'm still considered full time.
Yeah.
But then just working for an entire year, so like it does kind of put me back a year, but I mean, if I can finish it, I can finish it. It's fine.
And you'll still be attaining credits, so
Yeah.
really it's fine. Like, I think
It could knock off how long I actually have to stay in the degree.
exactly. Speaking of credits, I honestly forgot that I took dual enrollment in high school. So when I saw how many credits I had when I was transferring them, I guess this might be a weird way of bringing it up, but yes, I am definitely
He's smart.
transferring. No, 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 I wasn't even gonna say that I'm transferring, but like, yeah. So I took credits at their high school. So when I saw how many credits I had, I was like, whoa, 49. I was like, wait,
Whoa.
I was trying to do the math in my head. I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. But yeah, so I guess that's cool how that works, because essentially I can graduate early and potentially, save another semester of my mental health.
That would be nice. Like right now, like I'm coming into this just like I'm almost 20. That's
Yeah.
crazy. If Prithu's here, he's even closer.
Mhm.
But it's kind of weird to just be like, oh, I'm in almost into the twos. That's weird.
I know, right? Oh my God. I'm so glad that you said that because, like, I feel like I've been getting a reality check as well with me growing up. I know I'm like, we're both 19. So it's like, I guess I can say that, but you are going to be there before me. But still, like, I'm just thinking about turning 20 this year and I'm just like, I don't even feel 20. I feel like I'm like 17 still. Like, I feel like I still have the same values. I still feel like I'm doing the same thing, same beliefs, same everything. But it's like, I think they change it like later. Like I think that like I believe that later in your life you're going to get to like 23, 24 and then that's when you're going to start being like, okay, I got to like double down and start doing this stuff, right? But it's like do people I then again I look at like, everybody outside like people whether it's on the media or like my cousins like
Yeah.
you never really stop being a kid, no?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird to think that you're growing up, but it's like you still get to do more things because you have just more freedom now.
Yeah.
You know.
You definitely have more freedom, but then it's just like with freedom also comes responsibility.
Oh,
So growing up, you're just like, oh my gosh, I have my own money.
yeah.
Wait, but I have to survive.
You're like, oh yeah, but Pokemon cards, yeah, it's like, yeah, you just have to. I don't know. I guess that's the trade-off, right?
And then, I mean, with our generation, I don't want to like super get into it because I don't really want to get like political and just like in like worldview. But like overall, like our generation is kind of just done with older generations bullshit. We are seeing like that's kind of like why they're banning TikTok, and I think that's in full motion now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's because people are so connected now. And like we are literally getting to see in real time the bullshit that is happening. And without getting like super political, it's just like we are realizing like, oh, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, I think it's the over media consumption as well, over consumption of media.
Yeah.
Because, on one hand, you're right. You think of TikTok and it brings people together about real topics that should really be addressed, right? In some way. Like, I guess we could give an example like police, like a systemic police brutality and racism, right? And you'll see just a bunch of people post about how bad.
And that's not specific, it's just an example.
Yes. Yes. It's literally like nothing happened to me. Like
Disclaimer.
But people will post bad cops now and then, and then we'll be like, yeah, we need to change the way that they
It's publicized.
violate. Yeah, they need to change the way that they violate our rights. I mean, from conducting like illegal traffic stops to violating our rights, like it's just something that we have to know in order to know what to do next time. Right, but then and then there's another like the other side where it's like the non-beneficial side of TikTok that it's just like you're consuming so much media and then you're like, oh man, I hate myself because you see these idealistic people like around the web and you're just like, oh, I want to be like this guy, I want to work out like this guy, and it's like that's really not what it's about. You gotta just be yourself,
Yeah.
And that's the bad side. Obviously, I could go into detail, but it's like, dude, it's already so bad. Like, people already know. People aren't dumb. Like,
Yeah. It's overconsumption media is ruining us, but then like sticking on like the workforce kind of thing, just like you got hair on your face.
Do I actually?
But you got just people being like, well, I work this much and get paid like so much less than all these other people who are doing the same thing. It's just like state by state, it gets so different. But then like inflation is overshadowing minimum wage, and you're just like, well, I can't survive off all this, so I work.
Yeah, it's like, and that brings me to like, man, people will do a lot of things besides work. like you like I guess it's not even supposed to be like comic now. It used to be funny, like because like I'd see people posting like TikTok lives and all that stuff, and it's like you will do anything besides get a job.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it's bad. But I guess to lift off the stress of like how what TikTok causes us to do, it's like I think we should go back to the 20s thing. Because it's like, yeah, we are getting old, but it's like it's also crazy what kind of stuff happens in your 20s. My dad just told me about the story that happened when he was 24. And he was in America, obviously, because I told you that he moved around 19. I think you know that.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of friends, and obviously racism was still a huge thing at this time. Prejudice, all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, how is your dad now?
60.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact about that, they did not track the dates of when people were born in India. So I really don't know when my dad was born. So, you know, every time it's his birthday, I'm like, oh, you're turning, I don't even know. But
You're 1 year older.
like, yeah, you're 1 year older than whatever you were now. So, yeah. I mean, it's also relieving to know that I don't know how old my dad is because I think I like to hyperfixate on that and be like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm losing time, but it's like you just have to enjoy.
Well, okay, like with that, a little sidetrack. I did see you know Markiplier, obviously.
Yeah.
He went on to Anthony Padilla's show where he's like, I spent a day with these kind of people. And Markiplier had dropped some knowledge about, like, his people in interviews constantly bring up how his father died when he was young. And Markiplier had found out from, like, sources, and he found a saying that really stuck with him. It's just like, when you turn 18, you've spent 90% of the time you will spend with your parents in your life.
Wow.
So he was grateful to get that time with his father before he passed.
Then that's deep because every time you'll think like, oh, I'm not spending time with my parents enough, but it's like you are. You know you are, you know? Unless you are totally sure that you're just like completely ignoring them, completely not doing anything for them, not spending any time with them, right? Then you know. But I guess the point I'm getting to is that you shouldn't stress about that if you know you are doing enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you cannot just be like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like, no. That already makes you, realizing that, it already makes you a great person, you know? So it's like, it's scary. But like...
And I also get the notion that, like, when you start to grow up, you don't want to be restricted by your parents, so you want to, like, move out.
Right.
And after you move out, like, there's a lot of cases where, like, you have a greater connection, because now you're just like, oh, I get to come back as like a clean slate. There's nothing lingering.
Yeah.
There's nothing like you are harking me for. And it's just like, sure, I have my own responsibilities now, and like you can recognize that.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And I think now, I mean, now that people are getting older, they want to spend time with their parents more, and that makes me feel good, because it's like now there used to be this stigma in like the 90s and like I think a little bit older, where like even with my dad, he told me that like he wanted to be independent, he wanted to do his own thing away from his parents. But it's like now I'm just like, I've never wanted to be closer with my parents than ever. I mean, I'm literally transferring colleges to be close to them.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like
that's why I didn't want to go too far either, because I know they're still gonna like need me, so I have to be close.
It's just the responsibility you have to assume.
And I know a lot of parents are just like, well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to like be there for your parents. Like, oh, you owe your parents everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like the reality of it is just like it has to be your own choice. Because realistically, none of us asked to be here.
Nope.
It was our parents' decision to have a child.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh, that's very like self-centered of you. It's just like, well, I never would have like gone to someone and be like, hey, I want those guys to be my parents.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't able to talk to any god and just be like, hey, I want to be reincarnated there. It just happened. And here I am. I have the life that I have. I never asked to be here, but I'm still going to, as I grow, support my mother. It's what I'm going to do.
For real though, like that's the mindset I've been on lately, because it's like why I don't want to chase anything that's like that's not worth it, you know? I can
Mhm.
get my degree, I can do whatever I want and still be in the comfort of being able to visit my family every weekend
Yeah.
and, you know, spend time with them because that's really crucial at this age. But it's also funny that people like you get more attached to your parents at this age because this is also the age where you're like you're supposed to go out there and
Mm-hmm.
do things your own, right?
Well, it's also like where you, because I know your brain stops developing when you're 25.
Yeah.
For men, at least. I forget when it is for women. But you start to build your own identity at this point. You're just like, oh, this is like who I am. I'm falling into my own ideals. And even if you don't agree with your parents' ideals, they're still your parents. And you still want to be like, hey, I like still love you guys. Like there are some cases, obviously, where just like it's so bad that it's understandable that you never want to have contact with them. But like in most cases, you're just like, hey, like hold on. Like I'm getting up there in age where like you have to start to treat me like an adult and have respect for me. And I just get to look at you guys as like equals at this point. Like you're still like my superiors, but at this point I'm an adult
Mm-hmm.
and we can talk about adult things.
Yes. I think I agree with you. It's just like you want to have that young mindset, but you have to be able to talk about the things that are important. I agree. But I guess I digress. I guess saying that like my dad has just gone through a bunch of things is funny because he never told me any of these things when I was a little kid. A story that he told me the other day was that he went to a dinner with his friend, right? And they were all like interracial. They were all different, right?
Yeah.
So he, as soon as he arrives to dinner, he sees this pig hanging from the ceiling by like a string. And he's like, what the hell? Like he's like, what?
Obviously, being a Muslim faith, you're just like, what?
Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. Like we don't like it, but it's like, huh?
Like even for me, like I'm not a Muslim faith, but like I don't know, like definitely like being friends with you, like that has made me just like hate pork.
Good because I hate pork.
And just like it's just like you also have to understand how bad American pork is.
I've never had it. Like, is it that bad?
Like it's just really terrible for you.
Oh yeah.
Like I would go out of the country and have just like really like fresh pork, and I also really hate fat, like the chewiness of fat. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
so like here it's like all fat and just gross, filled with like plastics and that kind of stuff. But then I'd be okay with trying some international pork. But here I like almost refuse to eat it.
Really?
They're just like, well, we only have hot dogs. I'm like, I will have one hot dog and then I'll just have snacks.
Yeah. I mean,
Even then, I'll try to go for beef hot dogs because I prefer to have beef over pork.
that's great. I think a lot of people think like that way. I think a lot of people are like, damn, I don't really like pork, and they just decide not to eat it. I know my roommate doesn't like pork, and he can eat pork all he wants, but it's just like, damn, there is so much fat, from what I've heard, obviously, and the way that it's prepared is like,
Yeah, they're just feeding pigs literal shit.
yeah, that's not good. Like, I wouldn't want to eat that even if I was.
You're just eating recycled shit.
Even if I was able to, I wouldn't eat that. I'm sorry. But I guess my point is like it was just so random. Like I don't know if it was for my dad, but I don't know what it was for because honestly, you'll never find out why it was up there. Like in the story, you'll never find out why. So he gets there and they're having dinner. And after one of the women is like, "Oh yeah, okay. Everybody done with their dinner? Okay, let's all hold hands." So they're all holding hands, and I guess you know where this is going. They turned the lights off, and it was the start of a ritual. And as soon as this woman turns the light off and starts holding hands with everybody in the circle, because there was like a 20 people at least.
Were they all like around the pig?
Yes. Oh, they were. Oh, it wasn't around the pig, but they were around.
They were
I
just
don't
like,
know.
in a circle.
Yes, because I guess he doesn't tell me where if they're around the pig or not. But I will get that information for you because that is scary to think about.
Like hell no.
Yeah, but they're holding hands around the dinner table. At least I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And basically, she starts speaking in the voice that her dad was like had, because her dad was deceased. and she started speaking like him. And my dad talks to his friend next over. He's like, "Yo, does that not sound like the woman or the her dad that she was just talking about like a while ago?" And then his friend is like, "Yeah, that's definitely him. Same exact voice." And basically, during this ritual, she's like talking. She wanted everybody to want to talk to somebody that's been dead in the past. And a lot of people were sketched out, obviously. And to this day, I don't know if people did, but it's possible that one person was probably like, "Yeah, of course, I'd like to." But my dad's dad just had died recently, and she had asked him at one point, "Do you want to speak to somebody that's died recently?" And he was like, "Hell no!" Like he was like, "No way." So during this ritual, he actually breaks it. And he tells his friend, "Oh, I'm too scared. I'm going to use the bathroom." He doesn't say he's too scared, but he's going to use the bathroom. He left. He got out of there.
I would too. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it's not everyone, but like the black in me would just be like,
Exactly.
like, I don't really like fuck with God
Yeah.
all too much, but like anything like satanic, I'm like,
Yeah. No way.
like it's just like people are just like, "Oh, but you don't believe in God, but you're spiritual." I'm not like spiritual.
Yeah.
Like, I just believe that there's something out there.
Yes.
Like we're not the only thing, and like there are like we've proven that there's multiple dimensions. Like, not really proven, but like there's 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions. Well, there can be infinite kind of dimensions.
Everything points to it.
Yeah, but it's just like, man, I don't want to be calling out to like whatever might hear. I'm just like, no, goodbye.
I just don't understand. Like she started that ritual and she was talking like her dad, and the lights were off. So like, what do you make of that, right? And my dad, like I get my stuff from my dad. Obviously, when anything like that happens, I'm like, hell no, you know me. Think about my dad. Like he's the like a big strong ass dude, but like he's scared of like that stuff. He's scared of so many things. Like you know my dad. He's like
you hear all these stories, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do against this? This thing could pick me up and toss me around,
and you wouldn't even be able to see it.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, speaking of, have you seen, like, recently on TikTok, I fell into, like, these guys in, like, Pakistan and different places out in the Middle East that will just go into, like, abandoned places and find, like, jinns.
Oh, yes.
And just, like, there's this one guy who just, like, does not give a fuck.
Yes.
And just goes fucks with it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, there was one that I saw where it stood up in the doorway and it got like to the height of the doorway. I was just like,
yeah.
Oh no.
It's scary.
And then it like he brought the camera over and started hitting it like while it was in the doorway and it was just sitting there. I was just like, no.
It's scary, but like one thing that I have seen that the Pakistani people, they recite the Quran. And it's full of Arabic that's very religious, you know, written by Allah. So really, have you seen? Okay, I want to ask you. In any of those videos, have you seen the jinn attack them?
No.
No.
Because they always have something on them.
Yes.
They'll have I forgot what they are, but like they're the spiritual beads.
Yes. And you recite the Quran, and they do not touch you. And that's how powerful it is. You know, like I know exactly what you're talking about because you know what. In one of the videos, there's a man that approaches them that looks normal, with a religious hat on. He asks, "Are you a man?" He says, "No," and then he smiles like weirdly, and obviously you can tell that he's jinn because his eyes don't even dilate; they're just black.
Yeah.
Right. So they recite the Quran and they chase him. They're not scared of nothing. You can't be scared of anything when you have God on your side. Like,
oh, I remember seeing that video because they started reciting it and he started to run.
yes,
Because he was just like, oh hell no.
yes. Dude, you can't, like, it's powerful, but like also going back to what you said, there has to be something else out there, right? From the religious protectance that we've been granted, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be the Quran. Like if you believe that there's some like the Bible,
protection is there for a reason.
yes, like there has to be, right? If you think about it, I mean, I was literally talking to my dad about aliens, and he literally believes in the existence of aliens, and I was like, if you think that, then I think that.
Like honestly, like it's I can appreciate people who are like religious. I'm not religious myself, but I find like the history of religion fascinating because it's just like, well, how did this actually come about? And like, and then that can branch off into like more scientific things. Because then I can appreciate people who like both like believe in religion and science. Because I'm just because I don't want to like diminish it, but like religion, like as far as we know, is a man-made concept,
Mm-hmm.
and it's used to unify people under like a common under a common father or just parent. I'll say it like that. Um, and if that can get people together to actually be able to further the human existence, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, at least, I mean, I wouldn't even say that you're not religious. I just think that you know that there's, you actually, at least you think that there's an existence. There, at least you think that there's something beyond
Well,
that.
because it's just like I've watched like a lot of stuff and just like read a lot of stuff where it's
Yeah.
just like people will have all these different beliefs. It's just like, well, in America we only have like God and Jesus, and then like over in India you have like for you guys you have a law for the Jewish faith. They have God, but they didn't really see Jesus in the way of a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
In African culture, like there's billions, like not even billions, but like there's hundreds of gods. In Indian culture there's hundreds of gods. Russian
Hundreds,
culture,
thousands of Buddhist gods, bodhisattvas.
there's so many gods that you're just like, well, they all have different depictions. Which one is real?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what if they're all real?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really settle on one. Like I do think that like there's something out there,
Yeah.
but I can't hold on to one.
Mm. I agree.
I will not worship one.
I don't agree, obviously, because I'm Muslim, but
Well, yes,
yeah.
of course, like that's ingrained within yourself.
yes.
But for me, I'm just like, I'll fuck with any. Like, I'll go to Mecca with you. That'd be such a cool
That would be
experience.
so awesome. Like,
I will kiss the stone.
that would be so awesome.
You know, if we were actually able to get up there.
Yeah, because obviously, you know,
It's a very hard thing to get up there.
visiting right now. I mean, we can't even go to, you know, there's Umrah and then there's the other trip that you can make, but we can't even do that one because it's like, it's all packed, right? And like during COVID, we couldn't even go because they were like, we're not risking that for the stone. Like, no way. But, I'm glad that you said that because it's like, you know, this is all part of your religious journey. If you do decide to be religious one day, you will find a religion that is for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I'm not saying oh you have to convert. Like you don't have to do anything, unless you feel that you've been influenced, and you feel like oh yeah this is the one that is right for me. You'll find one for sure, because it's like you. I think it's just better than living your life thinking that we got here because of the Big Bang Theory. Whatever you do, whatever religion you choose, whatever thing you do in the future, I don't care. As long as you feel you don't think that we got here from the Big Bang Theory, because like I'm sorry,
Just like anything that about our past is really realistically just a theory.
yeah,
We don't really know what created the universe.
yes, but like it's you're right, but it's bad to take the side of somebody that says, oh yeah, we're here just because of science. We're here just because something happened and now we're here.
Well, that could be the case, but then I'm also just like, well, then what was before that explosion?
Yes.
And like, if one of our laws of the universe is just like matter cannot be created or destroyed, then there was like you can't have nothing before something. There's always something there.
Yes.
So something had to create
Yes.
something else.
Yes.
And it's just like, well, no, that's not how. It's just like that's exactly how that works.
It's exactly how it works.
Like you guys have already said it. Just like you can't have nothing. There's always something. And it's just like then, because then my thing is just like, okay, well, if God or a God created this universe, then what created that God?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, that's a very like nuanced way of looking at it. It's just like, well, it's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I can't settle on one thing because I don't have that answer.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great way to put it. I think what I'm just trying to say is that I don't appreciate when people rely on contingency and use it to say like, oh yeah, but it's just something that made us all come here, right? Because if you start out, if you think about the human population, you have to think about how we got here. Somebody have to have babies, and then those babies have to have babies, and then that, and usually people who
There's
like,
a whole thing about like evolution.
yeah,
And
like
it's just like people like don't believe in evolution. Like you need to really look at it in like like not generation to generation. There's generational evolution with how it's even affecting humans right now. Like we are changing right before our very eyes. Like like our children are different. Their children are going to be different. We're already affecting. We've already done very short evolution in the animals that we're breeding, so that we could actually make them safer for us, and just
Right.
like how our palates are changing, and like
genetic modification.
yeah, like we are becoming soft and fragile, so we need to create animals that are still below us in that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of sucks. But
No, yeah.
us
it does.
being the intelligence or the supposed intelligence on this planet, more conspiracy, whatever. It's just weird to think about.
No, it is. But, at least right? You're trying to find the answer to things. Some people are very ignorant in the fact that, oh yeah, we're here because we're here. I don't want it to be like that. I want people to be like, yo, I want to find something to stick to so that I feel more confident in the future, right? If I feel like, oh yeah, now I can praise to this person and feel confident towards how my action, because then I personally think, obviously this is bias, but I think if you have religion or if you have something to believe in, to stick to, then it helps you get out of tough situations. Like, oh, please help me, I'm in a tough situation. And then it's always figure yourself out, always figures your way out. But that's just me. I'm not
No, that's fair.
yeah.
Because again, it's just like it's to bring yourself closure through these kinds of situations that you feel you have no power over. So you look to a different power to possibly help you.
Yeah.
And then after it resolves, you're just like, oh my god, it's because of this.
Yes.
One of my criticisms with kind of like that theory is like people will also take it to the next step where they will attribute everything that happens to whomever their higher power is. It's just like I don't know. Just for me, I don't want to give all of my accomplishments to something else, because I do believe that I am my own consciousness, even if that's not true. As I see it right now, I am my own consciousness, making my own decisions,
Okay.
and to give all of what I do to something else feels wrong. I want to have stuff that is my own.
Okay.
And I know that it's just like for some people it may not be the same, and I understand that.
Yes. I mean, you obviously know I necessarily don't agree with that, but it's like,
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna support you no matter what. Obviously, like because without objection to opinion, like how is their friendship? How is their conversation? Right? Like, there's no way that I can like if I were to sit here and agree with you on everything, that would just go against everything I believe in. But to support you, that wouldn't, right? Because that's how it should be. But some people just don't like. I will honestly take like some people that believe. I really don't want to point out like an actual religion because it's like it's disrespectful. But a lot of people will force you to be like, oh yeah, find this, convert to our religion. No, just it's the only answer. That's not how it is. When you know the true religion, you'll know. Like you will
It
know.
has to be the right one for you.
Yes, you'll know. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't think friendships are built on like, oh, we have the same beliefs, same everything. I don't believe that.
There can never be life without discourse.
Exactly. And that just grows friendships and relationships more, I think.
Because like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, dude, you're Muslim. What the fuck?
Yeah, like
Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like even like asked you questions about like the Muslim faith, and I'm just like, dude, that's so cool.
You've been the most respectful of anybody I've met. So it's like,
And like,
why can't I do the same thing to you?
when you guys are fasting, I'm just like, okay, like I will literally go ask questions, and like you came in today, and I was just like, how's Ramadan so far?
Exactly. And yeah, it's just the respect that goes a long way. To meet people who really aren't your friend, obviously they'll tell you one thing and then force you to believe it. But it's like, I just don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in forcing somebody to do something just because it'll.
Yeah, it's just it's a matter of free will.
Yes.
So yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That was a huge digression because we were just talking about pigs being hung up and rituals being spoken.
Well, yeah, but then then we got into higher powers, and that's a whole thing.
I don't mess with reaching for that stuff. Like, that's not my job. Like, sorry.
I feel like scary stories of that, and it's just like
it always ends bad.
I know
it always ends bad.
It's just like like with the other dimension shit again. Just like I also kind of like believe in ghosts. I'm just like I don't really fucks with that.
Yeah.
Like, do I think other things are also on this planet that have been affected by such power? Like, yes. I think there's, like, albeit cryptids. No matter how well they're hidden, like, I don't really trust, like, the mountains.
I mean, to think that we're literally on a floating piece of space, like a star, in, like, this huge galaxy, like it makes you think, right? It makes you think. Maybe
hell, it makes me hopeful. Like I'm hoping that like something else is out there, man.
Living the human life is getting so hard now, and you wonder why. We think about the fact that like a human life is getting so hard to live, but it being in relation to something else coming, and obviously you know what I mean, the Day of Judgment. But it's like there could be so many other things out there, and we don't even know.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like almost all religions come back to some like that higher power coming back.
Yeah, and that's scary. Like, that's so scary. Like, and who is here to say, oh yeah, one person will come back, but one won't, right?
Like the Mayan calendar ending in 2012. Like that, everyone was just like, "Oh shit!" They literally made the movie of 2012 about the world ending.
Yeah, 2012. Everybody was talking about how the world was gonna end in 2012, and it hasn't been good ever since. Like you could even say that in a way, the world did end in 2012, and the fact that it's practically,
or maybe it was just a dimension shift. Who knows?
Scary.
Because then, like, you also get all these fucking Mandela effects.
Yeah,
just like Pikachu with the black versus no black tail.
That is scary. Like, I know that's like a simple concept, but like expand
the Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain Bears.
I thought it was Berenstain, but no, it's Berenstain. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
There's a lot of them that I'm just like, well, no, I remember it like this, but it wasn't at all like that.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. And it's just like, no, like, I would know if it was different. Like, if anything, like, even if a Mandela effect about like Ben 10 came up, I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Just like this guy wasn't there, and I was just like, no, he was there.
That's scary. And the Monopoly. Oh my god,
the Monopoly guy with the fucking monocle. I was just like, no, he had a.
Yeah.
He never had a. Oh, okay.
I didn't know he didn't have a monocle. No, he did. I know he did. Like, that's scary.
But then everyone's just like, oh no, you were thinking of the peanut guy, and I was just like, well, yeah, the peanut guy has a monocle, but so did Mr. Monopoly.
Mr. Monopoly definitely had a monocle. Not a lot of people do agree with that, though. I think he did.
I think.
I mean, we played Monopoly when we were kids, so we would know, right?
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about that, because if you think about that, people have expanded on theories like that in what we call like an iceberg, a theory iceberg.
And then just like the deeper it goes, the darker it gets.
Yes. And it's like when you expand on the ones that are like below the iceberg, it gets to the one where it's like multiple parallel universes. So I mean, for instance, like if you ride a bike and then you get hit by a car in another parallel universe, you wouldn't get hit by that car, and you'd get somewhere, and you'd probably, I mean, maybe you'd run into somebody with like $1 million in another universe, and that's scary.
Dude, like that, like I find that theory fascinating. Because then it's also like, think about all the times that you think you might have like gotten hit by something and like seriously injured. Then you like go home and you think about like, well, if this parallel universe thing happens and everything is happening at the same time, just in different like scenarios, what if I did get hit?
Yeah. And I could have been, I don't even know. If we think about parallel universes, there could have been death in that factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody, okay, but like, then you have to think about how many universes there are. Because you could die any second right now.
Yeah.
But then the universe would have to make up for the amount of seconds that you could die in a plethora of universes.
Mm-hmm. Just like, yeah, that's also weird to think about. Think about like you might be dying every second
In every universe. But then it's countless. You can't even count how many universes are there because how many seconds do you live every life? Right? If I were to live to be 72, you'd have to do the math on that. You'd have to do every single minute that you've been alive.
Like, what if you were a miscarriage? Died at 4, died at 12.
Exactly. But then that also doesn't account for the ways that you die. Right? Because there's
On some Death Note shit.
yes, exactly. Death Note. That's screwed with me. Because, yeah, there's trillions and billions and a bunch of stuff that you can make up, or a bunch of universes that have your death, right? But we haven't even thought about like the ways you can die. The ways, right? Because if you think about the ways, then there's more than that. Like there's even more than that. That's scary to think about.
The combinations are literally endless.
Yes. I don't want to think about that anymore. That's exactly the reason I shut off. There's this guy that's a beard that always talks about all this stuff, and it's like, oh, if the government comes for me, you know where I'm at. And he just talks about the craziest stuff. I mean, I don't even know. I don't want them to come for me, so I don't want to bring it up right now, you know. But it's like so many different things. I mean, oh yeah, you were twerking when I brought this up. Celine Delgado. We have to talk about that because have you heard of the Celine Delgado?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Celine Delgado, right? Mexico City in Mexico usually updates this broadcast that talks about all the missing children that have been missing around Mexico City, whether it's been like weeks, months. Having this said, Celine Delgado appeared on that broadcast. And it was this weird. Obviously, people didn't have access to high quality picture taking cameras. In the 90s. So, Celine Delgado's picture was very grainy against a white background, and you could also tell that her facial features were very normal, very like AI. So, I mean, after a while, Celine Delgado started appearing on this broadcast like way more often than usual. So she would literally be on there every single day. Like they practically never found her. And this could have been because that, you know, Mexico City doesn't really keep well documentation of people. They really lose documents, and you know, Mexico is full of, I like no disrespect to my Hispanic people, but there's a lot of crime that happens in Mexico, right? Due to whatever it might be, cartels and all this other stuff. Having that said, since this variable is played into the fact nobody really knew who she was because they tried to reverse look up her and they didn't find any files or any reported things that were like filed saying that she was missing. So that was scary for me. I was like, oh, no way. She's just like this random person that's missing. But having that said, her picture looks like the same of this one guy that did this like other crime. I don't know if you know like that scary like AI picture. I can look it up right now. It's like Celine Delgado lookalike or something like that. This. Oh my God, that is so scary.
Oh, like the Mandela catalog.
Yes, and they started matching that face with a lot of the features that she had, saying that like this could have been a prank, right? So basically, the channel that posted about this broadcast of the missing persons, they obviously ignored all this stupid stuff because they were like, oh, she could actually be missing, besides the fact that she was in their system. Then, usually around 3 a.m. on Twitter, every single time at 3 a.m., the Channel 3 in Mexico City would just post like the weirdest like creepiest videos, like creepy ass videos. Like one of them was like this human head attached of like what looked like a worm, and it would like be spinning around and stuff, and like saying random weird stuff, and it was so fucking weird. And these creepy videos started to continue and continue until they got to like the last video where one of them had Celine's name in there, like the exact spelling of the name, and it was so creepy, dude. Oh my god, you have to watch it. You have to watch it because it's like, who uploaded that picture, right? And who, like, are you guys fucking with us, or is the news in on this shit? Like, did you guys just do it for views or like or something? But it gets worse. This has been debunked, right? This has been debunked, but it was weird when people started looking her up on Facebook, and they found this woman that looked like exactly like her, and just older because she had the same facial features. And when you would go on her page, you already had her added as a friend. And that was weird to me because it's like, how you have to go and add somebody, right? And it's like, oh, like message, and like you couldn't unadd them at all. Like there's no way. But then it was debunked because it was like, oh, people can change their settings into the, I don't know how that works. I don't know how you can mix everybody your friend on Facebook.
I don't know.
I don't know how Facebook works.
Neither do I.
It's scary. I mean, I barely even touched on that story, but you have to go look at it yourself. It's just scary. Unrecognizable children that are missing.
Got it.
Yeah.
God, this has been like a very paranormal episode.
I like it. I like it. That's my favorite stuff to talk about, you know me.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, hell, before we started recording, we found out we both followed the same like creepy account on TikTok.
yeah, that is scary.
It's just like, I mean, most of these stories are probably fake and just curated to be scary. But like, I love listening to them so much.
It's amazing. Like it's just the fact of trying to explain the unexplainable. Like there have been no reports about this woman, and now she's just some figment of our imagination. But why would somebody do that?
Yeah.
Why would the news channel that's verified on Twitter post that stuff at 3 a.m? I don't know. Damn. Are you gonna just start thinking about other conspiracy theories in your head right now? Because that's what I'm thinking about.
I don't know. It's just, like, I'm just thinking about how there was that one story where like people think that like some celebrities are just straight up clones.
Oh my god, that's so scary. Oh my god.
How, like there's just like minor differences, and it's just like, oh, this person's a clone, and it's just like, well, they might have got like facial reconstruction, but then it's just like their whole like flow is different now, and you're just like, oh, wait a minute.
Like skinwalker, duplicate, who knows what it could be.
It's just like they become a plant, like a government plant kind of thing, because it's just like, they like defy like, or like, I don't know, secret organization kind of shit, or they defy that order, and then they get offed and then replaced.
That is, oh my god. Because I mean, you have to think about how many things they have to attend as a popular celebrity. They have to attend so many things. What if they're like, oh, I'm gonna send my doppelganger out to attend this one event, and then I'm gonna go to this one. But like, obviously, you'd have to actually prove that somebody was in two places at the same time on the same day.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit of a debunk, right?
Well, it's not that they were in two places at the same time. It's just like they're completely different now.
Yeah.
Like the original's dead,
That's
and then
scary.
the new one is out in the world.
That is so scary because you think about
now that I think of it, the original story of this that I kind of came across was you know, the Beatles one where they think like John Lennon died pretty early.
Yes.
And they replaced him.
Ah, that's scary.
And like they had like a song where like you play it in reverse and it's just like it gives an exact date. And then in another one it's just like we used to be happy and now like he's 6 feet under kind of thing.
Oh, so scary, dude. Like, and there's the implementation of the authority, right? That you just said, like the higher up, right? That gets rid of all these things. You know Stanley Kubrick, right?
Yeah.
Who made that movie about like, oh, the masked people. Oh yeah, you may never talk about this again, right?
Yeah.
You may like. I don't know what obviously what the whole spiel is, but he died a week later after making that movie. A week later. And who knows, they could have been trying to shut him up about something. Right?
Yeah.
Like, Like, what if there are a bunch of masked people that just like that meet up?
You're talking about the one where he got the footage from like that association, like that with all the owls.
Yes, like
Yeah.
the people who had like different types of masks, right? And like and people who use it for memes, like, oh, you take the wrong turn at the Denver airport, and it's like just a bunch of masked people, right? Do you want me to pull it up for you?
No, I think I know what you're talking about because this guy got footage of like all the elites in the woods.
And George Bush was there, and like these random famous people. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like screaming, yelling something.
Well, they were chanting.
Yeah, some type of weird thing.
I'm just like, hell no.
Dude, no way. And then you go to Epstein, and everybody knows about Epstein, right? I mean, he was about to leak everything about famous celebrities.
And then he just killed himself.
Killed himself in his cell. Like, who, like that could be explained. Like, that could be just covered up, right?
Because at that point, I think he was okay with just being in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And being killed by random people, but he wanted to get it out first. Just like, oh no, all these people are also pieces of shit. But then they were just like, nope, shut up.
Literally. Who knows? I mean, did they ever find the remains of him in his cell?
Well, he was there dead, but then they quickly got rid of him.
I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me. Like, obviously, nobody sits right with it because it's like there's all this information.
You can't really trust elites nowadays. You really can't.
I will never. Like, I mean, as much as I love Obama, who knows if Obama isn't like? I mean, actually, it's Obama. like, come on, it's Obama. But like,
I mean, you never know.
you really do. But that it pains me to say that because I feel like I know who Obama is, but I've never met the guy. So it's like, you think about what he could be doing in the background, and that's scary. That's so scary. Oh my god, I'm gonna creep myself out tonight. But
I mean, another scary thing is just like not only just like you become a president and then you're like super desired and like you have to be protected all the time, but like Obama and like his kids and his wife will never be alone. They always have to have Secret Service. Like all living presidents have protection.
yeah.
Because they can't ever live normal lives again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh shit, how's that? And it's just like, well, I don't really only have privacy in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, just like they're like outside of the bathroom waiting for you to come back out. Like they're it's just like, oh shit. Like think about that. Like it could just be someone who doesn't like you who just tries to kill you. Or like a different country of like just some spies who just come grab you and just like tell us all that you know.
That's scary. I mean, now that I think about it, like when you serve a presidential term, you're told so many things that haven't been released to the citizens. So why else would you have security? Like, that's so scary. Oh my god.
And then you also look like how worn out presidents get after like their just first 4 years.
I mean, Obama got gray hairs after his last 8 years of serving. The last 2 terms.
He was just like, damn, this shit. Oh.
No, for real. Like, I mean, and then Donald Trump being indicted, right? We don't even know what's going to happen after that, but he's only served 1 term. And
then there's Joe Byron.
I don't know where he's at. He's probably just dozing off.
I mean, at that point, like, he's just a puppet.
Yeah. I mean, during that election, we just wanted him to win so we would have anybody else serve besides Trump. But now
people want Trump back.
Yeah. Now people are like,
'Cause
the world was a little better when Trump was president.
Yeah, it's just like, well, he stuck to his policies.
Yes.
Joe Biden's just like, yeah.
I mean, foreign policies were good with Trump, right? I mean, he was good with other countries.
He was actually going to go out and like do stuff, but like as soon as other countries are realizing that like America's becoming a pushover. Like I don't know if you've also seen like the American dollar has fallen below $1.
Oh wow.
We're getting pushed out of currency pretty much.
What?
Like a lot of countries are starting to trade their own currencies. And they're forming like different like unions to just trade between each other, they're stopping the use of the American dollar.
That is scary. I mean, and the currencies that we've created ourselves, like Bitcoin and crypto, like everybody's influenced by these, right? These little currencies. I mean, it gets so minuscule to where like I will be playing Valorant and somebody will throw just to get crypto. Like crypto throwers. Have you heard of crypto throwers in Valorant?
No.
They will throw the game just to get paid crypto.
Because there's like predictions.
Yes. And not even that.
Well, they
Crypto made accounts that are made for that.
Well, they like announce it just like, hey man, just like, hey boys, I don't really give a fuck about y'all, but like these are my earnings right now, and I hit what I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
I was supposed to get 2 kills in 3 rounds and not die once, so yeah, I'm just gonna throw.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's just so annoying. Like,
I didn't know that.
oh yeah, streamers come across it, but like sometimes those those throwers will really not even say anything about it because it's like there's such a high elo that it's like it would be bad to say that.
Yeah.
And be publicized on somebody's stream, but it's happened. Crypto throwers are a real thing. Man, talking about like we haven't even like this is the tip of the iceberg of corruption. Have you realized that we've glanced over these topics for maybe even like a little bit of time, and it's like we haven't even touched the surface, right?
And I don't really want to get like super political.
Me neither.
A lot of it is political.
Me neither. But like most of the things we've talked about are things that have just happened.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's scary. Man, I miss being a little kid and just playing fucking Mario Bros. And not worrying about this stuff. Or actually not even worrying. Not being
just being a kid.
Told about this stuff.
Just being a kid.
Yeah, just being a little...
Get to do what you want.
They'll do shit everywhere in the...
Why are you shitting everywhere?
Oh my gosh. I'm scared to what my dad is going to tell me next had happened in his 20s. Because he told me his 20s were crazy. So I want to know what he's telling me now. Like I will literally ask if that ritual was over the like around the pig, because that is like I didn't even think about that.
It also makes you wonder, like, what haven't your parents told you?
That is so scary. Because my parents, like, they're very secretive. You know this, like you know my upbringing.
Like there's stuff that like my parents are more vocal because they just are.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, I'm being like completely honest with you. It's just like there's stuff that has happened to me in like the 19 years that I've been alive that I will take with me to the grave.
Yeah.
Like it's just like how young, like what, you've only been alive 19 years and you already have experiences like that. It's just like, yeah. I have stuff that I'll take with me to the day I die.
And that is because it's different being a kid when our parents were kids and when we were kids. It's way harder to live nowadays. I will put that out there. Way harder to live, way dangerous to live. But I like how you say that, like, what happened, my parents told me, because, I mean, shit, my parents don't even know the day they were born. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but, like, we've done everything that we have done to make sure that it doesn't matter, right? Like, when they were born doesn't matter. But that's scary to think about. Like... Because like when my dad told me that, it was at like the admitted student day when we were just waiting for everybody to get set up and stuff, and it was very casual. And he just brings that up, and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, we're still not big.
What? And yeah, that was scary because I mean, my dad has been through a bunch of things, and his brother, my uncle. Has actually experienced paranormal activity. I mean, I think I told you there's this Meyer that's next to these little mini apartments. I'd call them apartments, but they're like townhouses that look like apartments. And while my dad or my uncle was living there, he was actually experiencing paranormal activity until one time he was sleeping and he was thrown off his bed randomly.
Oh, wow.
And he ran out. And I wish I was lying to you. Like, I wish I was, like, oh yeah, this is a joke. No, he got thrown out. Like he never wanted to go back to that place because my you know where my family is, like once they experience something scary, they're like, hell no, I'm out of here. Like that's me. But it's like he never went back to that place. He started living with his mom. Like that's how bad it got.
Yeah.
So hey, there could have been even more worse things than that, like that my dad hasn't told me.
Yeah.
I mean, he moved out like before 20, right? So think about all the things that could have happened to him in India, like especially in that day of age, like what could have happened, right? Oh my god, that's scary.
Yeah, like I'm also curious, just like, because my uncle was in the Marines, and it's just like going through training, being at different camps, but then also just going out to Iraq, like, yes, that's very scary. Then I also want to know, just like, do you have any stories that you like refuse to tell anyone?
Mm-hmm. You have to ask him that. You have to ask him that, and you have to tell me if he permits you to tell me. But
Because, dude, if he comes out just like, yeah, this happened, and like I can't explain it, because it's like, think about that. What if like he was out in Iraq and there was just like some paranormal ass creature just like looking at them in the desert?
oh my god, that's scary. I mean,
Like they were like what is it? Well, okay, going back to like that fucking like TikTok thing that we've seen. Did you see the post recently? Like, I think it was like the 4 parts of like why we can't go back to the moon.
oh no, I haven't.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
Okay, so it's pretty much just like an imposter kind of thing.
Okay.
And I know it's just like Among Us. But, like, pretty much just like, what if at like this base, like someone went out at night because they were just like doing their rounds, and it's just like, hold on, I'm gonna go pee, and then like they just come back and they're different. Like you can't explain it, but like they're different. You just have a feeling. It's like that uncanny valley, which was created as a defense mechanism. It's a psychological defense mechanism. Anything that seems human but isn't, like we can recognize.
Oh my god.
Because it's just like, well, that proves that something tried to be human. And like we caught it. And that's really fucked.
That is fucked up. Oh my god. You didn't have to go that deep. I'm scared as shit now. Because I'm thinking about, you know, I'm thinking about Iraq, right? And then the Afghans. And how, you know, the Taliban is still out there, right? What if like did you hear about the plane incident in Al Jazeera where they got into a C-17 military jet to try to escape the Taliban?
Yeah.
And 3 people died because they fell off. Even if you were to stay in the jet, you'd freeze, like ice solid. What if they were escaping something else? Like they could have been running from something else, right? And even if it was the Taliban, why are the Taliban still around? Why haven't they been controlled? Or what are they being controlled by? Like there could be somebody controlling them.
It's food for thought.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, there is something out there and you guys have to be scary.
There's always like that thing where it's just like skinwalker this, skinwalker that. And it's just like, dude, if I ever got an indigenous friend and they were just like, hey man, don't go outside after 8, I'd be like, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm staying in the house.
Whatever you say. Yes, sir.
Indigenous as well. Oh, I'm staying in the house until.
Because it's just like through their beliefs, it has been passed down that
Yes.
just like this shit exists.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay, yep,
And it could have
doing what you say.
And if we can even go that route, the indigenous people were here before everybody else. So in order for Chris Columbus to technically kill the indigenous people and get them off the land, what if in return they imposed all this stuff on us?
Well, what if just like it's just like predator and prey. You start getting rid of the predator, the prey expand.
Yes.
That's what has happened. I don't know if you know this about coyotes, but that's how they spread across America. Because they evolved into a way where we started killing them out east, and because out east, but like because we started killing them and they started like expanding out west, they used to do like nightly gatherings, and if they notice one of their pack members doesn't come back, the women will get nervous and start producing hormones, and then they just start fucking.
But
Like that's how it is, and
Yeah.
then they just start spreading even more.
oh my goodness.
So that's how the coyote boom, like across America, happened.
Yeah, that is scary.
Because they were fighting to survive.
Like indigenous people.
But then it's just like, if they have all these stories of these cryptids, it's just like, that was like after the ice age. It's just like, well, what got frozen in that ice?
Yeah.
And it, like there was also like the Ice Age movie. I know, a really dumb thing, but like how those dinosaurs were frozen, like that Dunkleosteus and the other one
Yeah.
were frozen in the ice, and then they like attacked them. And that one, I forget, it was either the first or second one. I think it was the second one. But what if, like, because we started killing them off, these things were allowed to spread
Oh my gosh.
and allowed to go back into hiding?
That's scary, dude. And honestly, when you reference something like that, it's completely plausible. I mean, have you seen The Simpsons? Like it's also very dumb, but it predicts almost everything.
Mhm.
Like almost everything, even the Super Bowl wins.
Mhm.
Like and COVID, they predicted COVID. I don't know what episode it was, but they predicted that something would make everybody sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Super conspiracy like.
Oh my god. Now I'm just gonna go home and research all this stuff.
Dude, I like super. It makes me super nervous, but I fucks with Skinwalker stories. Going back to that,
The Skinwalker stories. You know what? The first time I indulged in that was when they tried to identify this unexplained creature outside the zoo gate one time. Do you remember what it was? It was like an unidentified animal, but it looked like a man. It looked like a wolf and a man.
oh, that one, it's
Yeah.
like the black and white behind the fence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
But yeah, that one is super interesting. Like you hear like these curated stories, but like it's just like, oh yeah, this thing like replaced this person in my family, and it knows that I know, and you're just like, oh fuck, and then that gives you thought about it. Like, yes, that one I know which one you're talking about. But then like in the woods when something gets like too quiet, and you're just like, nah, fuck this.
yeah. yeah.
And it usually gets too quiet when there's a predator around,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, what's around?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't see it, and they're camouflaged in a way to like let you not see them. But then I think about the movie The Forest. Remember when we watched that?
Oh my gosh.
And then we
yes.
found out about that one Easter egg between the rows where you saw the hand go behind the
Go
tree.
behind the tree.
And then we watched it again. We were like, ah!
That shit was so scary. That shit was so scary. Oh my god. But I think things going unidentified is the worst. Because that could be a skinwalker, right? We don't know
You never know.
if skinwalkers are real, let's say, hypothetically.
That's why it's just like, man, if I ever have an indigenous friend and they're just like, hey man, just like, I need you to be inside by this time. I'm like, yes, sir.
I'm like, I'm staying in there. I'm doing whatever. I'm staying in the house that I was given.
Or it's just like, dude, if like, or if they give you instructions for like animals, it's just like, make sure they go by this time. Any later, do not let them back inside.
That's so scary.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, our dog is gone. And
Yeah.
it's just like, no, don't say it like that.
Yeah,
Or
but
it's just like, it's just like, please check the entire house if you hear scratching at the door.
oh no, dude. Skinwalker.
Or it's just like, you hear scratching at the door and they're just like, close the blinds. And you're just like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. We should make, okay. This is so like, this is like hypothetical, but like with all the people I meet, I'm gonna start making like security questions, like just for that. Like we should
So they
have,
know.
yes, we should have our own security question that only me and you would know. Like only me and you.
well, I'm sure we could just like ask shit about each other.
Yeah, that's
Like
fine.
some sayings that we remember.
With you, it's easy because
Oh,
like
yeah.
we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of archives. But with like people that I've met that I've just gotten recently close to, security questions is a must. Like I know it's like hypothetical. Y'all are looking at me like I'm on crack or something. But one time, like, why do people tell stories about skinwalkers, right? You ask that, and it's like, oh, to get views, but it's like people get moved by this stuff, these stories that have been released.
But then there's also the conspiracy of just like, and a lot of like plots for movies is around this. It's just like, because this many people believe it, it comes into being.
Yeah,
So it's just like, what if there's enough people around the world believing in this thing that has now manifested?
true. That is scary to think about. Like, I don't know. Who know? Like, I don't even want to be alive around when the world starts getting like that, because the world is already started getting scared.
We're gonna be around for it.
Yeah.
Unless, please don't do this, but unless you unalive yourself, you're gonna see a big change. 'Cause
Yeah.
we are living through huge history right now.
It's crazy. Like, we just experienced a modern plague.
So it was just like after like World War II and the Cold War, and then like 9/11, and then it has not stopped. There, like, historical phenomenons and just like evolution has not stopped since World War One,
No.
or even further back. It hasn't stopped since like the Civil War, or even the Revolutionary War. Since we have expanded, we have continued to grow. Think about how far these things are, and they only came out within the last 30 years,
Yeah.
20 years even.
Technological advancement, I guess I should say, in a broader sense.
And how people are viewing like AI, it's exponential. So right now we're like starting to hit that bell curve that's just going to shoot us into the moon.
People are making AI songs. Songs that have been made by artists that are covered by AI of actual popular artists.
People make it sound exact.
Yes.
It's already like, from last month to this month, it's already almost indistinguishable.
It's literally scary. You know what? I was looking at these art projects, and I was looking at like facial weaponization, and like these people made this AI like mask that's unrecognizable and by any type of AI, and it's because they are scared of technological advancement. Like, that's how bad it's gotten. They've combined all these faces into this mush, this pink mask that you can wear that does not get recognized by AI because of how bad it's gotten. AI unrecognizable face.
Well, then you also have to think like the stuff that we have access to right now, the government probably is already like 10 years ahead of it.
Yeah. And who knows what they're using, like what benefit it is for them.
But then you also have to think like people who are just like really good at what they do, that are trying to keep up with the government, have also like helped us like skyrocket our advancement.
Oh yeah.
Just because they want to.
True.
Because just like people who are like really good at like hacking or just like developing stuff have helped us move further along, because they're just like, I don't want to work for the government. These people could be geniuses and don't want to work for the government. They're just like, no, I'm gonna do my own stuff and help everyone else.
I mean,
ChatGPT just got the update for like because the one that like the general public has, who don't want to pay for it, is just 3.5. But then 4.0 came out, and it's faster. It knows more. It can give better like written responses.
and the normal ChatGPT passed 90. It had a 90% average on all the bar exams. It passed the SAT with like, I think like a 11 or 12, 20.
Well, this new one is in like the top. I believe it was like the 98th percentile.
Oh my god, that's like 90th percentile of SAT is like 15, 20.
And it could like get into like Yale and that kind of like just these Ivy League schools.
That is scary to me. I wanted to show you the AI mask. This is the one.
That's weird.
It cannot be scanned by anything. But it's because it's made by people that are scared of technological advancement. So it's, in a way, it's like, it's comforting, but it's like, well, what about the people that rob banks and stuff? They can use that mask.
But then it's so distinguishable.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this person has this mask.
Yeah.
Then you can go back and look like who the manufacturers are of this. Like, there are ways to get around that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I don't know. I think that it's an inevitability.
Yeah.
It's just, we could fear it and try to postpone it as much as we want. It's going to happen.
Dude, I saw this. Speaking of which, I saw this guy who posted it on TikTok. It's like, if you ever posted a TikTok of you speaking in it, be careful because this could happen to you. So basically what happened was his parents got a call from an AI that was him saying that he got in a car accident. Yeah. He got in a car accident and they need to send him money. They almost took out a second mortgage to send to him.
It's just like any video that you've ever posted online, like what we're doing right now, people could perfectly replicate our voices. We have a 50 episode backlog. People can replicate us.
Exactly. But, oh, that's scary. I don't know what to think of it. It's like when you, but it's like, it's a data breach, but how can people address it back to the person that used it? They can't, because YouTube is a public software.
It's just like, this is data breach. This is public information.
Yeah.
You're willingly releasing it to the public
with knowing the consequences. But you see these famous people, they don't get their stuff like happen to them like that. But I mean, who knows? I guess it just has to come with time that we understand this can happen, and maybe people will make stuff that doesn't prevent it from happening. But
then people find a way around that.
Yeah, around that. I mean, people think about how already locked down the website and the World Web is now. People have data breaches for anything. I mean, I've seen people pirate Nintendo games.
I mean, there's a reason why we only have the surface level internet, because of how deep the internet actually goes.
Yes. I mean,
it was created and then almost immediately had to be curated to be safe for the general public.
Exactly. Curated, and the fact that we have universal access to it. I mean,
then you go to the deep and dark web. It's just like, oh fuck.
No, yeah, exactly like that. I mean, I've never been there, and I could already tell that like there's so many things that happen. And I'm not talking about like 4chan, like everybody knows about 4chan. I'm talking about like when you get deep into it, where it's like you can hire hitmen or something, and that's obviously just an inference because I watched. There's this person that produces games for the deep web, like Adam. I don't know if you know Adam.
Yeah.
He made the game, and Corey Kenshin played it. You play it, and it's like, oh, like you access these websites, and for example, one of the websites he makes it was like hire a hitman. It's like, what if you could actually do that in real life?
You can.
Like
you have to go onto specific websites and find them.
Oh, that's scary. I don't even want to think about that.
At that point, you have to jump through loopholes after you get after you get into the deep web. There's no like specific search engine.
Yeah.
You have to find stuff yourself.
Oh my goodness.
There's deep web engines, dark web engines that you have to go through.
But even those have like binary systems that can access your data.
And you have to have like, that's why people will buy like separate modems and computers to even access
it. They didn't even cut off their connection. They just do Ethernet, but Ethernet on a private network.
They'll use multiple VPNs.
Ethernet, private network, everything.
And some elite level people still get through it.
Still, somehow. Oh my goodness. Data breach. I mean, that's probably why TikTok was testifying. The CEO of TikTok was testifying in the first place. I mean, look, I love TikTok, but they're right. Data breaches are hard. Are hard to get across, right? But it's one thing to be like, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network? Like, obviously it does.
Yes, you connect. Then it's just like, well, then why does it like curate all my stuff like this?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, you allowed us to accept those cookies. Like literally every company asks when you access their website, it's just like allow cookies or reject cookies.
Yeah.
And then people like companies are making money by selling your information and that kind of stuff.
Yes. Dude, oh my gosh, that's weird. I mean, the other day recently, I tried to get back into my old Twitter account that was run by my Gmail, and it was under a whole new name. Like, somebody hacked it, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like, somebody used my email to start a Twitter account for them, and it was like some random woman. And I was like, what the fuck? but I haven't used that Gmail account since like third grade. So
Yeah. And then you also, I don't know, like I would like to think that my passwords are good, but then you never know like how it will slip
yeah,
because then everything has to change.
I mean,
People are just like, oh, you should have a different password for like literally everything. It's just like I won't remember that.
yeah,
I have maybe like 4 different passwords that I actively use.
yeah. I mean, I tried that, but now I've been making like new passwords because some of them are like you can't use a password you used before, and I always use like this one, like. I'm not gonna like blast myself, but I always use this one code word, and it's just like, damn, I can't even use it anymore. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's scary. Data breach, the real thing.
Wow.
But yeah,
Crazy.
I don't know, bro. It is crazy.
Is your girl gonna get up soon? Or is she up?
She's up, but
Okay.
yeah. But that's crazy. We just talked about so many scary things.
Insightful episode. Food for thought.
Yes, food for thought. Yes.
A lot of stuff to think about. Whenever you guys are back in town, we'll do this. And then I also got to show you guys my apartment when I actually move in.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
then you get to meet the other two.
Like to meet everybody, you know, see what's popping, and hopefully we can bring Prithvi because you know Prithvi's been busy.
Yeah. But we'll try to get that Hindi boy back. And then never mind. I leave in June.
That is so soon, dude. Like this
I was
summer,
gonna be
I'm
like,
gonna
you can get a couple episodes in before I leave. But like, realistically, yes. But like, I already had to start making a list of the stuff I'm gonna bring.
Yeah, in May, like the first week of May is when I have my finals, and then I'm done. So we'll be able to hang out in May, but like that's literally it.
I have time in May, and then I have I'm trying to take a summer class, but I'm on a wait list right now, which kind of sucks. So I might have to push it into the fall.
Yeah.
And then one of my classes isn't offered until next spring, so that's also pushing me back. And I'm just like, oh wow, awesome. So that sucks.
That sucks, man. Damn, that sucks.
But then the course for graphic design at NIU is only a fall offered course. You have to start in the fall.
So then, how does that work? Would you have to take it like this upcoming, or would you have to take it next time?
Well, if I had everything wrapped up, I could take it this fall. I just can't take it. I can't start the course in the spring.
Right. That just sort of makes sense. Well, I'm technically not even registered to a college after this year, so I don't even know where I'm going. But like, you know, hey, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's better to do it soon.
Yeah.
Because we're coming to a close of this year, so.
It's mid-April. I gotta do something.
Anyway, this has been, I don't know how long this episode is. My computer's behind me.
It's definitely been a while.
This is a long one, and I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this. But next time we might stay a little more grounded rather than getting really conspiracial. But I don't know. This was enjoyable.
I really liked it. I mean, it's better than talking about like what we do every day, because I just wallow every day.
I mean, it's good to talk about what you do. Just like, let's not make that the premise of the episode.
Yeah, like, you know, just some food for thought, but most food for thought.
Oh, very yummy. But thank you for watching. This is a new setting. I very much like this. In my apartment, we're probably going to try to do stuff like this. If you guys come over, I'll just let my roommates know. And then we'll try to do more stuff over Discord. Like when you go back, I still want to ask Prithvi, because I know we're coming to the close of the year, so it's probably going to be a no.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking studying for that boy, but trying to get you guys.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know me, I'll be good. Every time I come home, I'll be home next weekend, but I have a final project due Friday. We'll have to see about that.
I have so many final projects.
Yeah, I have to make mine like a wearable art project, so that's gonna suck.
I have to create an entire brand identity, like website and all, and then I have to create a magazine for 2 poems.
Wow.
Created an entire self-portrait.
I have to do self-portrait, but not entirely self-portrait. I have to do it with items.
I have to take, like, for my photography class, I have to create a presentation for an artist that we draw inspiration from, and then go out on a photo shoot doing stuff like them.
No.
And my last one, I like taking pictures with like long exposure so that my face is blurred.
Yeah.
Because my last photo shoot I took was me trying to keep my body really still and just moving my face, and then just having the exposure just blur the face.
That's sick.
How
How did your other project do? That one that we did?
it went well.
Nice.
Because then I also sent some stuff over to Hicks, and he said he enjoyed those pictures of the basketball stuff.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. So that's the episode. We'll be back hopefully soon. I have to edit the last one that we did because I got into a rut of just being really busy with
Yeah.
school. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back sometime soon. Yeah, that's the Coloring Book Podcast episode. Who's ma fucks it?
Who knows?
Anyway, that's the episode. Bye bye.
Peace. You guys go. Feel me?